inviting me to be a part of this momentous occasion. I'm not going to talk for too long because I'd like to spend most of this afternoon celebrating with everybody, and I'd like to go out and actually talk to you. But what I do want to talk on the stage about is the thing that I've noticed the biggest change in this town, because it's what makes me most proud of Amherst. You see, I remember back in 2008 when we had our very first flag raising, and I remember hoping to God that we might have 5 people that would show up to support us. And I remember how ecstatic we were that we had 50. And now here we are. We've had a flag raising. We've had a parade. We've had hundreds of people walking through our streets. We've had cars. We've had vendors. We've had the Bangkok food truck, for goodness sake. And I'll tell you what's made the difference, because it really struck home with me. You see, I was here last March giving a speech for the International Women's Day here in Amherst, and I was very, very blessed. See, I've gone around and I've done a lot of speeches at high schools, and I've done a lot of flag raisings, but I hadn't really gone to elementary schools or anything like this. And suddenly, here at International Women's Day, I was having the wonderful occasion to meet a young transgendered youth and her supportive family who live here in Amherst. Now, growing up, I had a very supportive mother. Anytime that I wanted to play with dolls or do something that other parents might think were strange, she supported me. But it was a different world. It was a world where we didn't really talk about transgendered and gay people a whole lot. We didn't see it in the media. We didn't see it on TV. And so there's only so much information that she could give me and that was present in our schools. But now, with things starting to change, I may not have had an opportunity to have all of my school pictures be as a female. And I may not have got to go to my prom as a female. When I look back on my life and I want to share stories of when I traveled to India, I have to be careful about which pictures I choose because I don't want to necessarily look too mannish. But now we have youth here in our community who are going to get to travel through their whole lives being themselves. And the reason why that is because of this crowd here today. It's because we have parents that don't judge. They love and they support. And we have a community that may not know everything, but you know what? They're open-minded and they want to learn more. We may not understand everything and we may not be perfect. And we've got some ground still to cover. But look at the amazing journey that we've been traveling together so far. Look at how far we've come together. So many of the big cities like Moncton and Halifax and Toronto, when they have their parades, it's because they have a pride committee that's been planning and organizing, and they've been doing fundraisers and raising money all year round to put on that event and to put on those nightclub acts and that parade. But here in Amherst, we had a bunch of people from different committees, a lot of straight people, come together and say, this is something we need to do. And we had allies step forward and start talking about people that they knew and their families. And suddenly, I'm not the only one going around and talking about it. We had a flag raising that featured amazing youth from our community. My only regret is that I couldn't be there in person to listen to them. But to know that there are other youth that are standing up and talking about it. And they have the support of their parents. They have the support of their churches who have talked about doing renaming ceremonies. They have the support of their families who let them go by the names that they identify with and the way that they express themselves. That's what unconditional love is. When I told my mom that I was transgender, the first thing she said to me was that we better go shopping because I would need some new work clothes. And that's what we're working towards here in Amherst. And every time I come here, every year, for our flag raising and now for our parade, I see the crowds grow. I see the support. It just becomes overwhelming. And I'll be honest, I almost cried about 5 times during this parade because I couldn't believe, and I never imagined in my life, that things would go from the way they were to the way they are. and I can't wait to see where we're going to continue to go.